The sea was restless that morning. Waves slapped against wooden boats, and the smell of salt and fish filled the air. John was just a teenager, strong, curious, with hands rough from casting nets alongside his brother James. Then came the voice. A carpenter from Nazareth stood at the water's edge and said words that would rewrite John's entire life. "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." Matthew 4:19. John's heart pounded. Something about Jesus' eyes, fierce yet gentle, made him drop everything. He didn't ask where they were going. He just went. Have you ever felt that? Like something inside you said, "Go, this is what you were made for." That's how John felt that day. Israel was under Roman rule. Soldiers patrolling the streets, heavy taxes, tension everywhere. People whispered about a coming Messiah who would set them free. John didn't know it yet, but the teacher he followed wasn't coming to start a rebellion. He came to start redemption. From that moment, John walked beside Jesus through miracles, storms, and late-night talks that felt like eternity squeezed into moments. He saw the blind see. He saw bread multiply in his own hands. He saw love that could not be explained, only experienced. John was there the night everything changed. The air was thick with fear. Jesus had spoken of betrayal, of death, of leaving. As the others argued about who was greatest, John leaned close, resting his head on Jesus' shoulder. He didn't want to be the best. He just wanted to be near. Hours later, torches flared in the garden. Soldiers came. Judas kissed him. Chaos exploded. John followed, quietly, carefully, all the way to the hill called Golgotha. He watched the nails driven in. He heard the cries, the mockery, the thunder that shook the sky. And then, through the darkness, Jesus' eyes found him. "Woman, here is your son. John, here is your mother." John 19:26-27. Even on the cross, Jesus thought of love, of family, of care, and John stayed. When others ran, love made him stay. 3 days later, before dawn, John ran. Mary Magdalene had burst into the room shouting, "The tomb is empty!" He sprinted faster than Peter, his sandals slapping against the stone path. When he reached the tomb, he saw the linen cloths lying there. No body, just silence, just hope. He stepped inside and believed. He saw and believed. John 28. That moment burned into his heart forever. Death had lost. Love had won. Later, John saw the risen Jesus by the same sea where it all began. Fish sizzled over the fire. The Savior smiled, alive. John grew older, but never colder. He preached the message of love everywhere he went. Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. 1 John 4:7. He saw churches rise, believers gather, miracles spread like wildfire. But he also saw persecution, friends arrested, believers killed, fear trying to drown faith. When the world shouted hate, John whispered love. When leaders demanded silence, John kept writing. Gospels, letters, truth, all soaked in the love he learned from Jesus. They called him the Apostle of Love, not because he was soft, but because he understood the power that never fails. Then came exile. Old, frail, and alone, John was sent to a rocky island called Patmos, a place of punishment, a prison of silence. But heaven broke through the silence. One day as he prayed, lightning filled the sky. But it wasn't a storm, it was glory. John fell to his knees as he heard a voice like rushing water. "I am the first and the last. I am alive forevermore." Revelation 1:17-18. He saw visions of angels and kingdoms, of battles between darkness and light. He saw heaven opened, streets of gold, no more tears, no more pain. He saw Jesus crowned in victory. It wasn't fantasy. It was hope made visible. John's revelation wasn't about monsters or codes. It was about the ultimate ending of the story. Love wins. Evil loses. Light never dies. He wrote what he saw so that every generation, including you, would remember. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. Revelation 21:4. When John first heard Jesus say, "Follow me," he dropped his net. When he stood at the cross, he didn't run. When he saw heaven, he didn't lose hope. Through it all, John learned one truth that never fades. Real strength is found in love. So, what about you? When the world feels dark, can you still choose love? When life feels uncertain, can you still believe that light is coming? Because the same Jesus who called John calls you too. We love because he first loved us. 1 John 4:19. And maybe, just maybe, your story, like John's, is part of a much bigger revelation, that love lasts forever.
Friend, no matter where you are in life, know this: Jesus is the way to God. In him is forgiveness, peace, and a joy the world can't give. He is Lord, and he's reaching out to you. If this message moved you, leave a comment below.